Are you like most busy people, stressed and inundated with health advice? This overwhelm is not helping your health. You see, one day I woke up in severe pain and I could not walk. I was dragging myself around the house in my office chair with wheels. I tried Tylenol, the pain didn't go away. I tried Motrin, the pain didn't go away either. I then remembered that an 80-year-old cardiologist had told me about turmeric. I rushed to the store and bought a turmeric supplement. After taking only one capsule, about 1 hour later, I was able to walk again, pain-free. This miraculous experience made me a firm believer in quality, holistic remedies. I am Dr. Adiola Oke, the body activator. That was me, a nurse, a pharmacist, and a public health professional. I didn't know that I was suffering from inflammation despite all my years of education. Now, I have been able to get to the root cause of my health challenges, and I feel great and full of energy. I don't want you to learn the hard way like I did. So, I created the Wellness Surge podcast to share simple, actionable changes that you can make to activate your body to heal naturally today. Here, we will have conversations about food, fitness, mental health, and all that is in between. Now, let's get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wellness Surge podcast. Today, I have with me Dr. Bonnie May, and we'll be talking about 3 reasons why you'll want to see a chiropractor. Dr. Bonnie May is a chiropractor with over 4 decades of practice. She won the Chiropractor Woman of the Year in 2007. She's the author of 2 books. The first one, First Heal the Children. How wonderful is that? And a second one, Complementary Medicine for the Military. Awesome. She's passionate about helping sick children get healed so that they can get off their prescription medications. If you did not know, there's no such thing as a prescription without a side effect. Okay. So that's her passion, and that's what she's all about. So Dr. May, welcome to the Wellness Surge podcast. We are so thankful to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you'll want to see a chiropractor. But when you hear the word chiropractor, right, what comes to your mind? I know what comes to my mind. I'm thinking, is somebody messing with my back, pressing some things in my back? Am I right?
I think you're absolutely right. A majority of people who don't have any idea what we do have heard stories about getting their necks and backs cracked, and it's not that at all.
Okay, if you say so. I've never done that before. I've tried different modalities, but I've never been to a chiropractor. So maybe I will have to seek one out after this podcast if I know why I should see one. Okay. So,
okay.
You've been a chiropractor for 4 decades. That's a long time.
That's right.
Okay. So what is chiropractic practice?
The entire principle is focused around the word subluxation. And subluxation is just the word we use to describe a vertebrae out of alignment. It can be a little bit out or a lot out. And when it's out of alignment, where the nerve exits the intervertebral foramen, wherever that nerve is going to, you're going to have dysfunction and irrational behavior and dis-ease in that tissue. So
okay, all right. So let me kind of break that down. Let me kind of can we make it more layman? So the vertebrae, like the bones in the back, in the spinal column, right?
Correct.
And if a nerve goes out of place, it doesn't go to it gets pinched, or is that what you're talking about?
If the vertebrae goes out of alignment.
Oh, the vertebrae. Okay.
Because the vertebrae is protecting the soft tissue, which is the central nervous system, the spinal cord and the spinal nerves.
Okay.
The bones protect the spinal cord and nerves. And if that vertebrae bone gets a little bit out of alignment, it irritates where the nerve, and wherever it's leading to is where you're going to have a problem.
Ah, I got it. Okay. I was just trying to make sure, like I said, a lot of people don't know about this word. So I want to use like layman's terms so we all understand what you're talking about. Okay. So got it. Okay. So what I'm hearing is this: when that gets out of alignment, your job is to kind of put things back in alignment. Is that what
Correct.
you're saying?
Correct.
Ah, okay. Very, very, very interesting. So if I think about a vertebrae or the vertebrae in my back, right, just going out of alignment, all I think about is back pain. Is there something else that can happen because of my vertebrae not being in alignment?
Well, number one, you don't know whether the vertebrae is out of alignment or not, because you may not have any pain.
Ah.
But if there's a subluxation and the nerves are being interfered with, you're going to have some result that's going to be a negative result from the brain not being able to send the message to the body.
Ah. So
now,
like
many people come because of pain, obviously,
okay.
But once people learn and understand how important it is to be in good alignment, then they come in on a regular basis, whether they have pain or not, and they bring their families in because it creates more normal nerve function in the body, which creates better health.
Okay. So when you say better health, health is a very broad term. So things like what? Like people deal with symptoms. Okay. I have high blood sugar. I can't breathe. I have asthma. I have an infection. So what kind of things like what type of health problems are we talking about here?
It can be anything from A to Z, quite honestly, because if you have a vertebrae in your neck out of alignment, you could have shoulder problems, you could have arm numbness, you could have a vertebrae in the upper back out of alignment, you would have difficulty with your lungs functioning correctly, you could have chest pain, you could have heart issues. Now, I became a chiropractor because I wanted to help diabetes, and the mid-thoracic level of the nerves that feed the pancreas. When a young boy many years ago who was a diabetic got under regular chiropractic, his pancreas started to work and he was able to get off of his insulin shots. And that's why I became a chiropractor.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I said I've never been to a chiropractor, and all I think about them is them doing something to my back. And I always thought only people that have back pain go to visit a chiropractor. I did not realize it was way more than that.
It is, yeah.
So diabetes being managed by a chiropractor? Who knew?
Well, we won't say that we'll say back then that was the story. Today, I don't specifically treat diseases. I locate subluxations and adjust them. So I know that when the body starts getting back the normal nerve flow to everywhere, it's going to be more normal, stronger immune system. All the organs are going to function better. And overall, they're just going to be healthier.
Wow. That's like eye-opener to me right there. All righty. So we know what a chiropractor does, right? We know, maybe. I think so. We know what a chiropractor does. What kind of schooling did they do? Did they go through to be able to help with things like this? What type of education?
Well, the education is the same as a medical doctor. The same number of years, the same courses. In fact, some courses we have more hours than they do. But I think in the end, when they go off to pharmacology, we go to spinal adjusting. So we take the same kinds of state board exams. We have the same education about the human body and about disease. And, we're educated very much like they are.
Okay, no, this is really news to me. I'm not trying to feign ignorance. It's about 8 years of college.
It's 6 to 8, yeah.
Wow. So this is because from like when you go as I'm a pharmacist, I've been in the medical field for several years, pharmacist, nurse, all of that. When you go into that branch of medical practice, you view other practitioners as like, oh, what are they doing? Chiropractor. I never knew that this is what until like, let me see, until I got my, I became educated or I educated myself into alternative practices and I became very interested in them. That's how I started like trying to find out about them. And that's why I invite people on my podcast to come and educate me better and educate the public too, because we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So this is news to me. Wow.
Now, let me say two other factors that I would really like to touch upon. People are going to say, well, what causes subluxation?
Yes.
That's the question, right? And why do you treat children? Why do you work on babies? I mean, I get that question. So the three causes are the three T's, and it's trauma, toxins, or thoughts.
Huh.
So in the category of trauma, you could have a slip and a fall or poor posture or bad shoes or carrying something heavy. Those are the kinds of trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about toxins, you're talking about bad air, bad water, bad food that the human body doesn't like, and it reacts by becoming subluxated. And then thoughts are like stresses, like anger, hatred, fear. That kind of negative energy also causes the spine to go out of alignment. So those are the three main causes. And I have to, explain that to people when, I had a patient yesterday who came to Colorado to go skiing, and he called me and said, my middle back hurts, and can you come in? I said, yeah, I'll come right in. And I talked to him, here's a new man, never met. And I'm trying to figure out why he's got this back pain. Didn't do anything. So I finally said, okay, are you under some big stress? He goes, yeah, at my job. I went, bingo. So I got him adjusted. He felt better after he got adjusted, but that was a perfect example of stress affecting your nervous system. Now, let me just say again about checking babies. This is one of my lifelong visions I've had, that I would love to go into medical colleges and do a couple-hour discussion on why every newborn baby should be checked for being out of alignment. Because I've had mothers bring new babies in that don't stop crying, that won't poop, that won't eat. And I just hold them, and with my fingers, I just feel their little spines. And if I find a spot that feels like it's tight and there's pressure, then I massage it and hold it until it releases. And they feel better, they sleep better. I've had a mother say to me, I had no idea. I've been taking my child to a Harvard grad pediatrician, and the child wasn't pooping. And this is a great, because it's in my book, I wrote about it. And I talked to her recently, and she goes, oh, it's absolutely true. I watched you work on him thinking, what you're doing is never going to do anything. But when he left, he pooped, so exactly, it's like the nerves control everything, and kids get out of alignment also.
Wow. How amazing is that? The nerves control everything. Wow. Okay. All right. So this is like, I'm just like blown away by all of this news. So thank you for sharing all that. So can you share 3 things that most people don't know that a chiropractor can help you with? So yeah, we've kind of talked about some, but like 3 things that people can hold on to and say, I'm going to take this away today.
Well, I would say, first of all, the immune system is huge, because if they don't have a properly functioning nervous system and the body organs aren't doing what they're designed to do, it's creating internal stress, which creates a depressed immune system. So that's huge, that it helps the immune system. Secondly, I would say their ability to think clearly. A lot of people wouldn't think by getting your nervous system lined up better that the brain is going to function better, the mind is going to be better. But it's true, the body and the mind are one. And when we improve the physical function, the mind works better also. So that's number 2. And number 3, the would be women who can't get pregnant. Many times, and there was research done on this, but if they're out of alignment and their female organs aren't doing what they're designed to do, very simply, they come in and they start getting under regular care and the nerves work and the whole female reproductive system works better. They get pregnant and they have a baby. So that's happened many times to many chiropractors.
What?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
What? Wow.
Those are just 3 simple reasons. In the beginning of my career, I would have people come to me all the time and they'd say, well, what can chiropractic help? I've got arthritis, I've got this pain, I've got that, can chiropractic help me? And my answer was always the same. If you're out of alignment and you get into better alignment through chiropractic adjustments, your body's going to work better. And 9 times out of 10, if that's the cause, then they're going to get better.
Okay. I have to throw this in because I'm sorry. I'm a medical practitioner and I hear what people say. Sometimes people worry about going to, we've heard about the quack chiropractors. How can you know that? This is a hard question. Okay. Because this person is pressing things on your back and you don't want them to press the wrong thing, right? How can you feel comfortable to know that, okay, it's safe for me to go to this chiropractor?
Well, I suppose, I would trust that if they've graduated from chiropractic college and they're doing it to help people, you can pretty much assume that they're trustworthy. And I'm not saying that there isn't one here and there that wouldn't be, but why would it be any different than going to a dentist or a medical doctor? Many people come because they're referred by a friend or a relative. And, I have people, my patients will say, well, my son lives in Missouri. Can you find a chiropractor in Missouri? So I get the zip code. I go online and look for somebody that practices maybe somewhat like I do. And I give them that number and let them go talk to them. And I just would trust that their heart's in the right place and that they want to help people. So, there's so many different techniques. That's an important piece of this picture. There's very gentle techniques and there's techniques that are a little rougher. So I use a very gentle technique. And my patients know that if they go somewhere else to somebody who's rougher, it's going to be a different experience. But not that it's bad. It's just not everybody wants the rougher correction.
Good to know. Good to know, because when you were talking about pressing the baby's back, I'm like, that doesn't sound painful. Like it doesn't sound like the horror stories you kind of hear. Crack, 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 crack. But so there are different techniques. There's the soft one and there's the okay. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I've learned a lot today, and so I'm so thankful to you. What is one thing that you want to make sure that people take away today after the show?
I would love parents to take their children in and get their children checked so they can function at top possible health function and have maximum health potential and just be as healthy as possible the natural way. Whether it's headaches, stomach aches, leg pains, digestion problems, can't sleep. Kids, when they get chiropractic care, they love it. They are fighting to get on the adjusting table first. They innately know that it's good for them and they feel better afterwards. And so I just hope that parents will look into the truth about the human body as a self-healing mechanism. When you cut your finger, it's going to heal. And kids should be healthy and strong and happy all the time. And if they fall off their bike and get out of alignment, and then next week they start coughing in their lungs, aren't functioning properly because their upper back got out of alignment. Those are just examples. I want to make sure kids have the ability and the gift of good health through chiropractic care.
Wow, I didn't even know you could take a child to a chiropractor. So I've learned so much today. Thank you so much. So how can people get a hold of you after the show?
Well, they can go to my website, drbonniemay.com, and my address of the office and phone numbers are on there.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Bonnie May. It has been enlightening speaking with you, learning about chiropractic care and what a chiropractor can do. 3 reasons why I'll really want to take my child to a chiropractor and myself to a chiropractor. Thank you so much. And I wish you, I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. So thank you, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Guess what? I have a free gift for you. Go to wellnesssearch.com and take the quiz there to find out if you possibly have high blood sugar. Or you can schedule a free call with me where I can share one thing that you can take action on to start feeling your best. If you've enjoyed the show, then follow us and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Information presented here is for educational purposes only, and it is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Please do not apply any of the information presented here without first speaking with your primary care provider. With best wishes to see you thrive. Have an awesome week.